And speaking of comments, we had a lot of interesting ones about how we covered the lawsuit that the Duchess of Sussex received from her half-sister, Samantha Markle. Thank you for those. Now, the US legal system is obviously a little different from the one we have over here, so we asked lawyer Paul Britton to explain what to expect.
Yeah, so there's a slight crossover with depositions and discovery, because discovery is looking for evidence. It's finding documents, whether they be an email or something in paper or a book. A deposition is where, in England, nonetheless, you would go to the court, you'd make an application to court during the proceedings, and you would say to the judge, look, we want to conduct a deposition. That's what the evidence is called at the end. And the person attending the deposition is called the deponent. So I might say, I want to conduct a deposition of Samantha, and I would like it to either be done in court with a judge or by someone appointed by the court, or as we see in a lot of American sitcoms like Suits, in the offices of lawyers. That's very rare to happen in the UK, because there's just so many factors that could muddy the water and make it messy. And what you don't want to do is to go through that process, which is quite expensive and time consuming, to end up with a bit of evidence that you don't want to use. Here, we only really use depositions if, in inheritance cases, for example, where there might be a witness who's quite elderly, and the trial could be a year and a half away, and you might have concerns that they're going to pass away and they won't make it to the final trial. So you'll say, can we conduct a deposition of this person? So will they be frightened of one or the other? Knowing that Meghan and Harry, they kind of take everything in their stride. So probably neither one more than the other. Most of the documents are already out there in circulation, so they know what they're facing. The deposition, are they going to slip up? There's a chance. If the trial is live, and in the States they like to broadcast their hearings, then of course when the evidence is put up on the screen, then everybody will be able to see that deposition. If it gets that far, it may settle before then. And if it does, then it's unlikely that anyone will ever see that evidence. Well, I spoke to some friends in the States this morning, and they tell me that it can be anything between 6 months and a year. But there have been cases that they've known that have dragged on and on when they're terribly complicated, up to the 6 or 7 year mark. If the evidence is already there and everything's established and there's not many contentions, and we can clearly see what the issues are, then 6 to 12 months in the States. How will Meghan and Harry deal with it? I mean, Meghan is a well-versed actress. Harry's used to being in the public eye, so I'm sure they will take it in their stride and deal with it very well.
Thank you for watching, but don't forget to click here to subscribe to our Royals channel for Palace Confidential, which brings you the latest royal news, views and gossip. See you there.